What if I told you that China once released millions of rabbits into a dry desert on purpose? Not by accident. Not for a joke. And not because they had nowhere else to put them. This sounds strange, almost unbelievable. Rabbits are small animals that need food and water. Deserts are dry places where even plants struggle to survive. So why would anyone think this was a good idea? Today, you are about to hear the full true story behind why China released millions of rabbits into desert land. What problem they were trying to solve. What really happened after the rabbits arrived. And why this experiment still matters today. Keep watching, because this story is not just about rabbits. It is about people trying to save land, fix mistakes, and learn hard lessons from nature itself. To understand this story, we need to go back to a serious problem China was facing. Large parts of northern China were slowly turning into desert. Grass stopped growing. The soil became dry and loose. When strong winds came, they picked up the soil and carried it far away. This problem is called desertification. Desertification destroys farmland and makes life very hard for people who live nearby. Many families depended on the land to grow food and raise animals. When the soil died, crops failed year after year. Animals had nothing to eat. People lost their income. Some villages were forced to move away. On top of that, huge dust storms became more common. Thick clouds of sand traveled across the country and reached big cities. Streets, homes, and cars were covered in dust. People struggled to breathe. Schools closed. Life was disrupted again and again. The government tried many solutions. They planted trees in long lines to block the wind. They told farmers to stop overusing the land. They built fences and barriers to protect the soil. Some of these plans helped a little. But the desert kept spreading. The land was already badly damaged, and fixing it was not easy. Scientists began thinking in new ways. They noticed something interesting in nature. In places where small animals lived, the soil often looked healthier. Burrowing animals dug tunnels that loosened the soil. Their waste added nutrients. Water soaked into the ground more easily. Plants had a better chance to grow. This led researchers to think about rabbits. Rabbits dig holes and tunnels underground. These tunnels allow air and water to move through hard soil. When rain falls, it does not just run away. It sinks into the ground. Rabbit droppings also act as natural fertilizer. On paper, rabbits looked like helpful workers. China decided to test this idea carefully. Scientists chose dry areas in places like Inner Mongolia. These were controlled experiments. The land was fenced. The number of rabbits was planned. Everything was closely monitored. At first, the results were exciting. The rabbits began digging almost immediately. Hard soil became softer. Water stayed in the ground longer. Small green plants started to appear where nothing had grown before. Insects returned. Birds followed. The land showed signs of life. Local workers noticed the changes too. Some said the ground felt cooler under their feet. Others noticed that the wind carried less dust. Farmers nearby felt hopeful for the first time in many years. They believed the land might finally recover. But rabbits have one big problem. They reproduce very fast. In a short time, the rabbit population grew much larger than expected. More rabbits meant more eating. Young plants were eaten before they could grow strong. Roots were chewed away. Some green areas disappeared as quickly as they had appeared. The same rabbits that helped the land at first were now hurting it. Loose soil without plants was easily blown away by the wind. The desert started to return. The balance was lost. Scientists realized they had to act quickly. They reduced rabbit numbers in some areas. In other places, they stopped the experiment completely. They studied how many rabbits the land could truly support. This helped them understand the limits of nature. One researcher shared a powerful memory. He watched rabbits digging near small green shoots pushing through the sand. It felt like watching life return. A few weeks later, those shoots were gone. That moment showed how fragile recovery really is. The rabbit experiment was not a total failure. It gave scientists valuable knowledge. It showed that no single solution can fix desertification. Nature needs balance. Plants, animals, water, and people must work together. Scientists also learned how local people felt about the experiment. Some farmers were nervous at first. They feared the rabbits would destroy what little land remained. Others were curious and hopeful. They watched closely as the land changed. These human reactions mattered. Because saving land is not only about soil and plants, it is also about trust and understanding. The experiment showed how slow nature can be. Healing damaged land does not happen in weeks or months. It can take years, sometimes decades. Small gains can disappear quickly if balance is broken. This taught researchers patience and respect for natural systems. Other countries facing land loss studied the results carefully. They learned that using animals in land recovery is possible, but risky. Careful planning, long-term control, local support, all are necessary. Today, China uses mixed methods to protect its land. They plant grasses that survive dry weather. They manage grazing animals carefully. They protect soil with barriers and better farming rules. Technology now helps track land health and weather changes. The rabbit experiment helped guide these smarter plans.
Clarify this for you. There has been a misconception about the experiment, and I want to set the record straight.
China released rabbits everywhere without thinking. That is not true. These were limited experiments guided by science. The goal was learning, not destruction. This story shows how serious the fight against land loss can be. When land dies, people suffer. Food becomes scarce. Homes
we must
are lost.
Act boldly to restore this land,
Bold
despite the
ideas
uncertainty
become necessary,
ahead.
even when outcomes are uncertain. Rabbits did not save the desert, but they taught humans how easily balance can be lost, and how careful we must be when working with nature. So the next time you hear a strange story about animals or science, pause before judging. Behind it may be people trying to protect their future and fix a problem bigger than themselves. Let us know where you are watching this video from. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this story and want more surprising truths from around the world, subscribe and keep watching. Many more unbelievable stories are waiting for you.